I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, I'm sorry. If that's my hook, I guess that's going to be my hook, but I got to read this to you. Dude, you don't really get the disease. And we're talking about alcohol use disorder, alcoholism. That's really what this page is about. You're more interested in justifying her. She's talking about my wife. I was married for 25 years, and my wife passed away really going on 5 years at this point. Justifying her and your choices. Okay, none of this has anything. There's not one video I've ever made that had anything to do with my choices or really my involvement with what was going on with her. Just own them. What would I be owning exactly? I think we're going to have to delve into this and break this down a little bit and stop blaming her. I've never said one sentence in one video that ever had blame or shame or pointed fingers at anybody. Okay, we're talking about alcohol use disorder, which is a mental health disease. Okay, I go in extensively of the origins of why it existed in my wife's life and why it exists in people's life in general. None of it, not even for a moment, has ever been filled with blame or shame or guilt or to create anxiety in anyone. It's about education, understanding where it comes from, and that alcohol really isn't even the problem. The problem is the alcohol is the solution for the alcoholic because it's solving their problem, either their anxiety, depression, their peer pressure. I mean, whatever. We can get into that, but it's a temporary solving their problem. Alcohol's not the problem. The problem is much deeper, and that's what this page is about. It's about exploring that. Let's continue the conversation. And really, the whole reason why I even address this particular comment is because it's a general mentality that you get a lot from people, and unfortunately, it really shows a lack of emotional maturity when you don't have the ability to really do some critical thinking skills and maybe look at some other videos and really have a better understanding of what this page is about and what I'm really trying to project by having this page. It's really about helping alcoholics and really I obviously come from a standpoint of a surviving member of a family who had an alcoholic in their family, and she passed away. And we tried everything humanly possible to save her. And you still get these people that have the mentality, well, what was the role of the spouse, or what's the role of the alcoholic family members? They must be the problem. And we've gone over this, intensely. It starts really in your youth. I mean, she had trauma in her youth. She had hereditary issues. It was in her family, her grandparents' side, and it was family culture. She really grew up in an environment where it was, alcohol was part of her earlier life. She had this issue before I met her. Unfortunately, I was really woefully ignorant of what was going on. I didn't understand it. And this is why I really reach out to other people so that other family members who don't really have an understanding of it, and why would you? Because you're a family member, you're not a drug and alcohol counselor, so why would you, have an understanding of the alcoholic that's in your family, or either your child or your spouse or your parents? This isn't your background. But through experience and through extensive research that I've done myself over the years, it becomes a different situation entirely. And it's here to help people. And if people don't get that, they need to move on. They need to move on. And this really has nothing about being defensive, because that's not what it's about. It's about pointing out a certain mentality that's just simply inaccurate. And to begin with, you don't start a sentence with dude. In my life, no one in my entire life, in the real world, has ever called me dude, because it doesn't fit, who I am and what I represent. I'm not a dude. I'm not anybody's dude, and never will be. So, I hope that helps you understand where I'm coming from a little bit. On that note, I think we also need to delve into, why people make these kind of statements. Okay, they do it because people can only see from their vantage point. And a lot of times women, and generally speaking, this comes from women. I don't get these kind of comments from men because I'm not disparaging my wife. We're dissecting her life and trying to help other people through her mistakes. And people don't realize that that's not an easy thing to do. When people think I'm nonchalant, well, they're reading what they think into it. It's a very difficult thing to do this on a regular basis, and I do it because I know it helps other people. I don't know any other way to express that. So I hope people with this kind of mentality have the ability to really look in the mirror, maybe delve a little bit deeper into what really goes on in this page, and hope you learn something. I really hope you do. On that note, again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. And when you're ready to work with me, again, one-on-one, I have a complete coaching program that's designed to help the alcoholic and the family. Set up a call. It takes about 45 minutes. I've helped thousands of alcoholics, and just as importantly, I've helped their families. So again, set up a call. And again, thanks for listening.